Good morning, you guys. Abigail Klutz here from Kansas, and today is Tuesday, January, February, March, April the 9th. Yeah, I do that sometimes. I saw on my computer it was 4/9, but I hope y'all are having a great morning. How many of you guys did your 555 tasks yesterday? You can put in the chat or just, yeah, awesome, cool. As you were going about your day, I'm just curious, did you find yourself getting back on task? Because maybe there was something else you wanted to do in the second grouping. Yeah, totally. I did too. I actually got my mortgage done. So that was ridiculous. And I guarantee you I wouldn't have gotten all that set up if it wasn't on the top 5, because I wanted to get on to the second 5. So I hope that helped you. I hope you're excited by that. And just curious, how many of you set a goal for how much income you want to make this week off just simply trial packs? A couple of you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Did it put it in perspective for you? If you wanted to buy things like a pedicure or something and you knew you're only going to use that money, how many of you did that register or click with you, like not to use your card? So it definitely did with me. I'm excited about it all. So I want to get right into today's training, because after that, we've got a couple announcements to make about the MVP playbook, the unicorn that just came out right now. If you haven't got yours, if you have Keto Academy and more tickets, it's saying it should show up in your back office. Show of hands, how many of you have already ordered it and you see it in your back office? Okay, cool. How many of you are waiting for it to get into your back office? Okay, me too, a couple of us, so no worries. We'll see where it's at the end of the Zoom. So okay guys, today Nate Justice from Nova Scotia, I love saying that, Canada, is on with us today. And on Tuesday we always do the attract, and I was thinking about who to pull on, and back a while back, Nate and Anna both invited me into a group of training that they were doing, and I actually didn't get through it. And so I really want to learn from Nate today about live video training, because I have seen him and Anna just take their business next level, and they have been so consistent with their lives. I mean, how many of you on here, you notice them? You notice them showing up, they're consistent, their topics, their headings are always good, they're getting comments, engagements. Right, I noticed that too. So I want to be trained by Nate today. So without any other jabbering, Nate Justice, take it away. It's all yours.
Thanks, Abby. How you guys doing? That's awesome. Cool. Lots of thumbs up. That's perfect. It's a snow day here. It's all cool to say you're from Canada, right? But we're still getting snow days here, man. All the kids are home. Spring is coming, though. I promise you guys. If you're in Canada, where's the summer? Camille's saying, yeah, where's the summer? So what I would like to do, guys, I would like to start this by just going to a place of gratitude, okay, and putting something in the chat that you're grateful for, because I think that's a real good place to start learning from, is just acknowledging what we're already grateful for. Like, I got on here and I'm like, I'm grateful to be able to get on here and help people make a bigger impact. So what are you grateful for? I want to pull that up here. Snow day, family, grateful for sunny and springtime in Calgary. Spring is here. Nope, snow, my boys, my family, my bacon, my children. Grateful for my changes and my growth. Grateful for the quiet. Unicorn slam. Oh yeah, we got to talk about that later too. Good news. Gym every day. Pruvit family and helping others. Ketones, changing my mood, fighting my depression. So all this amazing, amazing stuff we have to be grateful for. We all got it. We all got stuff to be grateful for. And it's just really a matter of, getting the eyes to see. It's there. No matter where you are, even if you're going through a bad time, you always have something to be grateful for. Sometimes you just need your eyes open. Sometimes you just need to go to that place and take a look at it, put it on paper, put it in a chat, something like that, And then guess what happens throughout the rest of your day? Then all of a sudden you're seeing the other little blessings that keep popping up, and you're because you're looking for them. And so that little shift, hopefully you can pull some good stuff out of this training, because I think that, you know, with everything, there's going to be good stuff, and I want you to keep the good stuff, the stuff that you want to implement, the stuff that works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, throw it away. So let's go from there. So I want to talk to you guys about when I wasn't a live guy. Like when I first came into this, I came from the military, 12 years in the military, infantry, you know, and so that is about the furthest thing from doing Facebook live videos for a living that you can get. Okay. So I would my job description was, you know, I was a heavy machine gunner. That was my literal job description. And so now I'm doing Facebook lives for a living. So this was quite a stretch. So I think some people see you when you start going on something and they're like, wow, dude, like, you know, I don't know if I could do what Nate's doing. Well, I'm a infantry soldier grunt, they'd call us. And this is what I do. And I've really pushed myself out of my comfort zone to do this kind of stuff. So I promise you, no matter who you are on here, you know, you can do this. I guarantee you can do this. Because I think when you talk about going live, a lot of things come up. We're going to talk about that as we get going. But I want to tell you guys that, you know, if I can do it, I literally believe that any of you guys can do it. Okay. So when I first got introduced to doing Facebook lives, was when, who was at the Keto Academy and more last year in May, when Ray Higdon was there and BU, and we did that 30-day Facebook live challenge. Who remembers that? Anybody? And I thought it was cool because it was just like, hey, like you can earn $100 or whatever it was and 200 Pruvit bucks just for showing up every single day and doing a live. Well, I just didn't stop after that, and I kept kind of going. So I've been going almost a year on this consistently, never missing more than a few days, and just kind of constantly developing it. And, you know, it's become a major part of our track business, right? And I want to just say that, you know, lives they work together with all this other stuff that you guys have been learning. So it's not something different. It's something that works cohesively with all these things. It works with how you're showing up on social media. What value are you bringing to the marketplace? How are you connecting with people that you're meeting? And it works synergistically like that on your social media, you know, as part of a whole of how you show up. But I believe that it's a powerful tool. And I think it's powerful because at the start of our business in Canada, like we would do a lot of face-to-face meetings. We'd fly around Canada. We'd meet a lot of people, get into people's, you know, fill rooms full of people, do workshops, do keto life parties, and all of these great things. And that was amazing, right? I mean, we would go there. I think Abby came out to Calgary. We got a couple hundred people in a room, you know, things like that. We do stuff like that all the time. And then I started doing these lives and I realized, hey, wait a second, I'm getting like 200, 300 people watching a video every day that I do one. And I'm sitting in my pajama pants in my living room, right? And so then my wheels started turning. I'm like, dude, like I can make an impact. I can extend the impact. Like it doesn't take the place of face-to-face, guys. I believe there's a power there. Michael Rutherford was talking about that last night. But it is a powerful tool to leverage. Honestly, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter what resources you have, you can get on a Facebook Live and make an impact. Probably, you know, 50, 100 people at least can see your video. And so that's amazing. So I think that this is a very, very powerful tool. If you're not using it, I do think it's underutilized. And I think that a lot of you guys would benefit from at least giving it a try. So let's get into it. Why Facebook Live? So you're going to reach more people, right? You're going to reach people. That's what we want to do. We want to get ourselves out there. People are going to get to know you on a Facebook Live. So it's kind of unfiltered, guys, because it's live, right? It's like your stories and stuff like that. So this is where people are actually going to get to know who you are, which is very powerful. I mean, we can hide behind posts, we can hide behind memes, we can hide behind a lot of things on social media, but live, man, let me tell you, I got kids running in naked. I got like all kinds of things happening on my Facebook Lives that you just can't filter, right? So people are getting to know Nate, they're getting to know me, and, you know, for better or for worse, right? And so the cool thing about Facebook Lives is they do duplicate well, right? Because, I mean, anybody can do them. Like I said, people, anyone on your team, anyone in your community can get on there and share something of value on a Facebook Live. And the other thing is they're fun. I have a blast doing them now. I used to get nervous. I used to be like, you know, I'm the type of guy that when I get nervous, I actually get over dramatic and I like try to like overdo my points and stuff like that. So when I look back on my old Facebook Lives, I'm just like trying to be a little too inspiring, Nate. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe quit, you know, take the personal development down a notch kind of thing. That's what that's what it looks like when I go back to my old live videos, right? It's like dial it back a little bit. On Pat's saying Aquaman. Yeah, like we have fun with it now. I mean, my wife just was talking about her Aquaman fetish the other day on a Facebook Live, and she dressed me up in a unicorn wig and gave me a broom, right? And we did a Facebook Live on it, and it was amazing, right? And we got a lot of engagement. It was just, we just have fun with it. I got someone off mute here. Gotta mute that. Okay, there we go. We're good. And so one of the big questions is, okay, yeah, sure, Nate. Okay, let's do Facebook Lives. You know what I mean? Let's start doing Facebook Lives. But what should I talk about? I don't have anything to talk about. That's what a lot of people say, right? People are laughing about the unicorn live. Yeah, that was actually hilarious. She didn't exactly tell me what we were going to do. She just said, come here, let's do a live. She's like, just go along with it. And she gave me a hug after and said, you're a good sport. So that was it. I'll do it. I'll do anything. What should you talk about? Okay. You don't have to dress up like wearing a unicorn wig or anything like that. You don't. That's not a prerequisite here for doing Facebook Lives. But you can work towards it. What should you talk about? So who are you? Who are you? I think it's very important in all the social media training to know who you actually are. And there's such a comparison game out there when it comes to social media. Like you can take a look at like Jesse Lee or somebody that's just rocking these Facebook Lives and try to just emulate them, be exactly like them. And, you know, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't really work well unless you're being yourself. And so what interests you? What are your interests? It doesn't have to be all ketones, by the way, because like, you know, some of us, like I'm actually interested in health and fitness and stuff like that. So I do talk about it. But if you're interested in interior decorating, then why not talk about that? Why not talk about something that you're interested in? Because if you actually talk about something you're interested in, guess what that's going to do? It's going to bring up your consistency. Because if you're not actually interested in something and you're talking about it all the time, then you're going to get bored and you're going to get sick of it. It's going to feel like a chore. It's going to feel like work. But if you're talking about something you're actually interested in, that's when your creative mind starts getting going. That's when you start enjoying yourself, having fun, you know, and so whatever you're interested in, you can bring to Facebook Live. And I want to tell you guys kind of a format that Ray teaches. He taught it at that event. We're going to get in there to that in a second. But, you know, I think that you really got to give stuff a try, guys. Like all of these tips on social media that you've heard from all these incredible people, you know, I see this happening a lot. And that is, you know, you try it a couple times and then you don't get any results. And then, you know, you give up, right? That doesn't work. And so if you think about it, like going to the gym or working out or something like that, it's like day one of a diet, day two of a diet. Yeah, I didn't lose any weight. I quit. Doesn't work, right? Or you go to the gym, you lift one weight and you're like, you know what? Yeah, that's it. That doesn't work. You know, I didn't see those biceps growing yet. Right. And so, you know, some of these things, like I've been doing it for almost a year now, and I'm starting to see real good results with it. Like Abby was saying, starting to see real good results. Actually, probably the majority of our customers, I would say the majority of our customers are coming directly or indirectly from our Facebook Lives now. And so, but it's taken a year. It's taken a year of being consistent, not missing. I probably haven't missed 3 or 4 days of doing a Facebook Live in a year. And so, you know, people take a look at that and they're like, well, that's kind of overwhelming, this and that. Well, what's the alternative, right? If someone was to drop you a gold nugget on here that would take your business to the next level, whatever it is, might not be this, might be something else. But they also told you that it was going to take you a year or 2 years or 3 years for you to see the return on that. You know, would you do it? Would you start taking the first steps? Would you start implementing it? Or would you be like, you know what? That's 3 years. I can't do it. Well, what's the alternative, right? Not growing your business, not going to the next level, not making a bigger impact, not helping more people, So I think sometimes we think of the mountain. We take a look at the mountain, but then we don't take a look at what's behind the mountain. It's like, dude, it's not any better back there either, right? Might as well keep going. Might as well take one step in front of the other. Might as well wake up every day, put on your shoes, right, and get to work. All right, so we're going to get into this a little bit. So I want to tell you guys, this is Ray's format. He dropped it at the last More event. And, it comes along with coaching, right? So select your coaches carefully, but when you do select a coach, listen to him or her or whatever, right? Listen to them and implement it consistently over time. So here's the format that we follow with lives, and it's taught by Ray. It's not taught by, it's not mine or anything like that, but it really works well. So before you go live, do 10 or 20 engagements on Facebook. So go scroll through your news feed, and comment on people's posts, right? Preferably comment on people's posts. It makes you a good Facebook friend, and it's just a real good DMO to do with your live. So go through it, give people hearts, give people love, and start, being a good friend. I mean, if you're commenting on people's stuff, adding value to them, they're going to want to jump on your stuff too, right? So that's what we do before. So 10 to 20 engagements. Then when we start our live, so we start our live, try to make it in an area where you don't have so much junk in the background, right? Try to make sure there's no naked kids running around. It does happen from time to time, okay? But, try to do the best you can to keep your background clear, to keep your face clear on the live, and to try to not be holding your phone. I look back at my early ones, I was doing it. Try to go hands-free, okay? That's because it's like what's that movie called? Blair Witch Project. It's like the Blair Witch Project when you're sitting there holding this thing and it's just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then, you're trying to give this big inspiring, Facebook live and it's like you're running away from the Blair Witch. And so make sure you're going hands-free. Introduction. So introduction, but I want to back it up a little bit. Your title, guys. Your title for your Facebook live is huge because Facebook Live has a habit of bouncing on the top of people's news feeds. You ever go on Facebook and you're like, so-and-so is going live, right? And it is right at the top there. You guys see that? And so what you need to really focus on is your title. You got to assume that people on your social media are super duper busy, right? They have a ton of things to do. They got kids bouncing forth to activities. They have better things to do than watch your Facebook Live video. So you got to hook them somehow by giving an amazing title, right? So an amazing eye-catching title, right? And, Ray himself, he did one the other day for a Facebook Live. He was making s'mores, and he said, how to instantly increase your wife's sex drive. And he's making s'mores, right, on his thing. And I clicked on that video and I watched it because of his title, right? It hooked me. And that's just an example of how you can hook people on stuff, right, guys? So think about your title and how you're going to hook people. Assume people are busy. Assume they have something better to do than sit down and watch your live, okay? So your introduction. Always start your introduction, not like I did on this call, because I usually introduce myself. Abby did a good job. I usually say, hey, my name's Nate, but I didn't do it on this one. Do an introduction of yourself. So no matter what, always come on your Facebook Live and say, hey, I'm Nate Justice from Nova Scotia. And then say what your topic is. Today we're going to talk about this. Or a powerful way to do it is to ask a question. So say you're talking about losing belly fat. Hey, are you struggling with belly fat? Are you or someone hurting for struggling with belly fat? Or are you looking to look a little bit better in a two-piece this summer or whatever, right? And you start with a question. You ask a question at the beginning that pertains to the problem, that pertains to the value that you're giving in your content. So, you usually want to solve someone's problem in a Facebook Live. That's what I do. You usually think of a problem that someone has and you want to provide a solution for it. Now there is other types of Facebook Lives that I'm just kind of giving you guys what's worked for us. And so then your body. So talk about what it is. So mine was, 3 ways to burn belly fat. And so I'll give my 3 tips on how to burn belly fat, and I'll have it all written out. I'll have everything done, prepared, right? And then I'll give a conclusion at the end, which will be just me kind of reciting what the whole Facebook Live was about. And so that is probably the least important part. So the introduction, before the introduction, the title, the body, and the conclusion. Okay. And I want to tell you guys the hook. This is the hook. This is how you actually get people interested in ketones, because that's the main freaking thing that we're after, isn't it? And it's a CTA. It's a call to action, just like we do on every one of these calls. It's a call to action. And so you are calling your viewers, whoever's watching this, you're giving them a reason to reach out to you. Okay? You're giving them a reason to reach out to you. And so, like, for example, of a call to action with me is that I've used is I got 5 tips on how to start your morning well. I have a document that I put together. I'll just say, hey guys, okay, this is my live on how to burn belly fat. I actually have a document on 5 tips of how to start your morning well. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be interior design tips. It could be keto cookie tips. It could be, Thanksgiving recipe tips. It could be anything that's of value to them that gives them a reason to reach out to you. Okay. And I'll say, hey, look, just type send in the comments below. Okay. Oh, and very important when you're on a live, I know I'm kind of bouncing around here, is to engage with people on there. Cause I know we get nervous, we get flowing, we get talking and stuff like that, but it's a live video. Like, it's interactive, right? So there's people on there that are typing, hey Nate, how you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I've struggled with that before. And then, so have an outline, but remember that it's an active conversation. Okay. So it's an active conversation that you're having with people. That's the amazing part about this, is you're actually engaging with people. And guess what? The more engagement and activity on your live, the higher Facebook's going to boost it. And so, so we give a CTA. And so we have people saying, okay, send me that, or people private message me. Dudes actually private message me a lot. I don't know why. It's like, hey, belly fat. They're too embarrassed. I guess it's too much of a guy ego thing to say it say it below, right? They have to message me, and it's always late at night. Like, hey, bro, send me that list on belly fat or whatever, right? That's a guy ego thing, I think. But so when this is where it happens, guys. I want to tell you guys, this is where it happens, and this is where you talk about ketones, and that is when they reach out to you, and you have someone that's reached out to you and wants your CTA, you do what's called a delay CTA, a delay call to action. And so what that looks like is this, okay? I will send a voice message to them. So say my laptop's right here where it is, and I'll send a voice message on my phone saying, hey, yeah, sure, I'll send you that document when I'm back by my computer. Just currently though, are you currently interested in ketones or ketosis, or what do you know about ketones and ketosis? So I've delayed that, right? I've delayed my CTA, and I've created a kind of a diversion. But the cool thing is they've already put their hand up. They're attracted to me, number 1, because they're on my live. Number 2, they're the ones that reached out to me, right? So you have all the leverage in your back pocket at this moment in time, right? So when you ask the question, it's not like messaging a random stranger. It is like messaging someone that's doubly reached out to you. They've been on your live and they want your CTA. They're putting their hand up twice for you. They're saying, hey, you know what? I like you. I want the value that you have to offer. I'm attracted to what you have to give. So when you do this, you don't have very much resistance, right? You don't have very much resistance to have a conversation about ketones. And guys, the purpose of the delay CTA is not to make a sale. And it's just like anything else. It's not you can't be thinking like that all the time. Like, I got to make this sale. I got to do this, right? It is to create a conversation around ketones. It's to create a conversation around the opportunity. And, you know, this stuff works and if you put it in practice consistently, you know, for example, the other day, some days it's going to feel like it doesn't work. Some days you're going to be like, man, like no one watches me, like this sucks. And it feels like you're just going through the motions. Sometimes it feels like in the gym too. But I promise you, if you stay consistent at it, you know, you get better. You get better. And as you're doing your personal development, all of these things that Abby was talking about yesterday, you're growing as a person, and that person is showing up every day on a Facebook Live, right? So you're growing and showing up is going to attract more people. And, you know, another thing that people say is, I don't have anything interesting to talk about, right? I don't have anything interesting to talk about. Well, there's something that Ray teaches called ILT, okay? It's invest, learn, teach. And so what do you think we've been doing on our Zoom calls? This is not new concept, guys. Like, what are we doing on these Zoom calls? We're magic from thinking big, right? Investing our money in the book, investing our time reading the book, learning about it, and then what are we doing? Teaching it. Invest, learn, teach. That's what we do with Facebook Lives, right? We live in the information age, for goodness sakes. You can get information on literally anything in the world and basically regurgitate it on a Facebook Live and teach it to people, right? Every single day, and you can add value to them every single day. So invest, learn, teach is the model that we use for Facebook Lives. And it works amazing. One more thing here. Yeah, like, so it's so funny because I was like, kind of like in this stage right now, the past few days, I'm like doing lives consistently, showing up consistently. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't have anyone reach out to me in a few days. And I'm like, well, you know, and then Abby's like, hey, do the Zoom call on it, right? Do a teaching on it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll do it. And so, you know, just before this, like a dude reached out to me from Hawaii. And just to give you guys an example, so I want to share with you the power of Facebook Lives is he literally lives over 8,000 kilometers, and I'm Canadian, so 8,000 kilometers from where I am. So I'm on the far east coast of Nova Scotia, and that is an hour east of Eastern time zone. So I'm Atlantic time. You bet some of you didn't even know that existed, right? And he's in Hawaii, which is far away. Like I'm closer to England than I am to him, right? And so he reached out and said, hey, I've been watching your Facebook Lives for weeks now. That hasn't liked a damn thing, hasn't given me a heart, hasn't made a comment. I'm ready to become a promoter, he says to me. Ready to become a promoter. My wife and I want to join you guys in this opportunity. Literally, that was the message, right? So showing up consistently, you know, what powerful tool can you reach around the world like that, literally, and attract someone into your business? And if you're consistently showing up, you know what? The right people are watching you. You have to believe that, number one. Like the apprehension sometimes, guys, of showing up is actually a mindset issue. And it's an abundance issue. There's people, the right people are watching you. The right people are watching you get better. They're watching you stay consistent. They're waiting to see if this is for real or not, or just another one of those things. People, I don't think are all bad. I think some people are wanting things to work, but they don't have the courage to take the first step. And you taking the courage to walk this in front of them gives them the courage to eventually put their hand up and say, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. And because you haven't given up, because you put in the time, because you've put on your pants and you showed up. Actually, you don't even need pants for Facebook Live. Put on your shirt and showed up every single day, right? You showed up every single day and you were committed to it. You've proved to them that it's possible to do this thing. You've proved to them that it's possible to do this thing. And you're showing up every day is showing something about who you are. So anyway, guys, I don't want to ramble. I hope I've given you something valuable here. I want to stay true to the time. But listen, Facebook Lives work. And you know what? You showing up every day, you're going to get better. You're going to suck at first. No one's going to watch you. You know what I mean? But you're going to get better. And if you keep doing it, you're going to be surprised at where it goes. And some are going to, like, I'll do some today and no one will like it. No one will comment or anything like that. And then I'll get some that'll get, 1,000 views or something like that. And that's good for me. So anyway, guys, That's it, Abby.
Awesome. Nate, thank you so much. I took a lot of notes. I got a lot out of that. It's funny because we just see it happening all the time, but like literally bulleting it out, it's like writing the 5 tasks. Like, okay, here it is. I got it. Let's do it now. Application is everything. I don't know what you guys like, things that hit you, but I definitely learned I need to do a better job. Like, never go live without doing 10 or 20 engagements. I also learned that before I post in my storylines. Why post all up in my storylines if I haven't brought new people into my inbox that I want to see it? So same thing with a live. I love that. The DMO before you go live. I loved the hook. The title, getting a little bit more creative and captivating on that, because I know I put some really boring stuff sometimes when I'm talking about boring stuff sometimes. And people can probably feel that. So I like that a lot. I like how you outline what we're going to talk about, because I know I can get spacing all over the place, and outline, but have the conversation that drives engagement for the algorithm. So those things just hit me. I really liked them. Thank you so much for sharing that, Nate, because I know you've studied it, and we appreciate your knowledge and expertise on that. Nate, I have one question for you, just one. If you are giving a CTA, and I know a lot of us who have, been consistent on lives, when people from Pruvit or other, anybody from Pruvit is wanting like a free guide that's of value, do you take the time, or do you have like a generic canned response for them that maybe saves your energy?
Great question. And so this is the way I look at it, because this is the way that Ray taught it to us. And that is, we're trying to add value to the world. Like, you guys on here, you got to think big. Like, you got to think not baby bear, like not like all me, 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 me. If you have something of value, if you have a morning routine that's really giving you value, and you have people from the Pruvit community reaching out to you about that, send them the link. Guys, you have the document made up, send them the link, give them value, and spread that value to everyone, regardless of if you're making money off them or not. Like, you should be adding value to people that you will never earn a cent off of. Right. And then you're growing. That's you growing as a person. That's you growing in your mindset. That's you growing in your abilities and stuff like that. And you gotta think that way. You gotta start thinking that way. I'm gonna add value to everybody, right? Even the people that I will never earn a dime off of.
I love that, Nate. Thank you for that reminder, that abundance mindset. And now that you said that, I'm going to ask for something I wanted a few months back, but didn't want to ask you for it. So awesome. Okay, you guys, real quick. This is very important, and I know we're a little bit over time, but I just want to make sure everybody understands what's going on. Number one, on the unicorn, I tried to get into my back office earlier, into the store, and get it, and I didn't see it. But once I went through the email link that they sent me, because I'm registered for Keto Academy and more, and I went through that button, then it instantly appeared. So if you haven't seen it yet and you've been checking your back office, go to your email and click into it through there, and get ready, because if you aren't registered for Keto Academy and more, it's time to start do your engagements and filling your wall and creating the teas. Number two, something really important that hit our pulse today is the MVP playbook. All right, guys, our business is based on breaking MVPs. So setting this, I printed them out, and I put the times up in a calendar in front of me. And I can guarantee you, if this isn't sitting in front of you, and I even put deadline dates for me, where I want this customer by this time. So I would encourage you to print this out, break it down, and people who chase promos, you know what happens? Their teams chase the promos with them. And then you know what happens? Everybody levels up because they were chasing a promo. When the company puts together promos, it's for growth. okay? And if you're not promoter focused, which I love this, is when we first started the company, you had to have 2 promoters to break MVP. And I almost feel sometimes like we need to put that back in, because so many people are scared to have the promoter conversation, and they are not leveling up because you don't have anybody to work with on a 2nd, 3rd, 4th level, because in your first 30 days, you never brought in somebody who was going to bring in somebody, and then you get tired and worn out and you don't feel like you're making enough income. So set your goals for making 2 promoters to hit this, and then look, it should easily expand into 4. So I'm not going to go through the details of this, but just do be aware that it's right there, it's printed out, and I bet, and I'll even make a statement, that we have Nick Martinez go live in the promoter group and just walk through it. How many people would like that? Nobody? Nick Martinez is a comp plan guy? Okay, great. I want it. So we'll get him in there today. And that is it. That's all I'm going to say. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Tonight is the COC profile on the COC Success Profile page. So tune in there. And then tomorrow we'll be back here Wednesday with Sarah Lovely on Connect, I think. All right, guys, have a good one.